There is nothing my holiness cannot do. There is nothing your holiness cannot do. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 38 of A Course in Miracles. What a great time to be alive. Today, we are going to talk about how there is nothing our holiness cannot do. Me and you are very holy. Me and you are a part of God's mind. We are very holy. Lesson that we did yesterday. My holiness blesses the world. 36. My holiness envelops everything I see. We're going to learn how to really see that and why that is today. And we're going to learn how me and you can transform any situation that we may be involved in, or someone that we love may be involved in. We're going to learn how to consciously use this power that is who we are to transform whatever may be going on in our lives. And that can only happen whenever we know this is who we are. We are holy, we are love, we are light, we are an extension of holiness. And this is good to know. So we're going to dive straight into it, and then we'll talk more about how to apply this and just be woke together here in this moment. There's really nothing better than this. There's nowhere else you need to be right now in this moment, this instant, and wherever we find ourselves at any given moment in time is perfect. There is nothing that could go wrong. There is nothing that me and you need to do other than what we are doing right now. And our beliefs that make us think otherwise are the only thing that are in our way from allowing us to see our holiness. So if you got the book, you already know what to do. Let's dive straight into lesson 38. And if you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description, and let's go ahead and dive in. Lesson 38 of A Course in Miracles. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. Your holiness reverses all the laws of the world. It is beyond every restriction of time, space, distance, and limits of any kind. Your holiness is totally unlimited in its power because it establishes you as a son of God, at one with the mind of his creator. Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. Through your holiness, the power of God is made available. And there is nothing the power of God cannot do. Your holiness then can remove all pain, can end all sorrow, and can solve all problems. It can do so in connection with yourself and with anyone else. It is equal in its power to help anyone because it is equal in its power to save anyone. If you are holy, so is everything God created. You are holy because all things He created are holy, and all things He created are holy because you are. In today's exercises, we will apply the power of your holiness to all problems, difficulties, or suffering in any form that you happen to think of in yourself or in someone else. We will make no distinctions because there are no distinctions. Wow, that's powerful. I'm going to read that one more time again, and we're going to talk more about this as the days go on. But the text dives really deep on this. It states, in today's exercises, we will apply the power of your holiness to all problems, difficulties, or suffering in any form that you happen to think of in yourself or in someone else. We will make no distinction because there are no distinctions. In the 4 longer practice periods, each preferably to last a full 5 minutes, repeat the idea for today. Close your eyes and then search your mind for any sense of loss or unhappiness of any kind as you see it. Try to make as little distinction as possible between a situation that is difficult for you and one that is difficult for someone else. Identify the situation specifically and also the name of the person concerned. Use this form in applying the idea for today. All right, now let's go ahead and apply this together and do a few different variations so that way we know how to do it more clearly whenever we are doing this on our own time today. In the situation involving blank in which I see myself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. In the situation involving my financial situation in which I see myself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. In the situation involving blank in which blank sees himself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. In the situation in involving Diego in which Diego sees himself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. In the situation involving getting fired from a job in which Janet sees herself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. So, those are a few examples that we could do to apply this. And this is very powerful because we are starting to learn that what me and you are doing with our mind, with this powerful tool of ours, is affecting everyone and everything around us, even when we are unaware of it. And by me and you being aware of who we are and the power that lies within us and the power that lies within everyone else, we can begin to work miracles because we are reminding them of who they really are. We are helping them awaken to the fact that they cannot be harmed. They are a child of God, just like you are, just like everyone else is. Although people around the world may call that a different thing or a different name, we cannot change truth. So, whatever we do call it is irrelevant because we are all an extension of the same love, light, source, pure positive source energy. And that is fact, that is truth, unalterable, unchangeable. And by me and you being awake and aware of this information, we are waking up everyone else to the fact of who they are as well. And because they are waking up, that allows them to release fear that they have, release anger, release all the worries, the doubts, any form that fear may take in their life, and they will be purified and they will be reverted back to who they used to be before they learned anything that caused them to be otherwise. And that's just such a good feeling because there are people who are out there who are ready to receive this message, and you are in the perfect position to deliver the message, whether you speak words or not. Just by you being awake and aware in this state of mind is emitting a signal to people, reminding them of who they are as well. They observe you through the words you speak or through your body language or whatever the case may be, just through feeling your energy, and something inside of them gets sparked and they will be led to talk to you or you will be led to talk to them thanks to that communication that you have with God. And you will be guided to go say something. You'll be guided in that moment of what to say or how to say it, or they won't even know why, but they'll be led to go to you and you guys will cross paths for a reason because nothing happens by accident. Nothing is coincidental and nothing is a coincidence. Is coincidental even a word? I don't know. But everything is happening very deliberately and it is all being orchestrated by the greatest power in the world. And me and you are an extension of that power. And when we learn to be receptive to that guidance, people who are ready will cross our paths and we can remind them of who and what they are and the power that lies within them. And because of that, me and you are kind of tipping the scale from the teeter totter being so heavy over here of fear and me and you being up here, and me and you are up here right now. Me and you and a few others compared to the entire world being in fear, of course the side's going to be lifted down. We're going to be up. But the more and more and more you are in this state of mind and people come your way and you remind them of who they are, we tip the scale and more people could be reminded of who they really are. It's really such an easy thing, and there's no need to search for those people. There's no need to try to force this down anybody's throat because if they're not ready, they are not ready, and they will not be able to comprehend these topics that we are discussing right now. The only reason that me and you are here right now in this moment is because we are ready for this information to receive it. And period, that's just it. Me and you are in the receptive mode. We are in the vicinity, in the vibrational vicinity to understanding this information, because this is truth. This is information and knowledge super high up compared to all of the different forms that people may think is truth, but it's really not, because it was made by someone. This information does not need to be made because it is what is. There's nothing that we need to make up here. This is just what is. There's nothing that we could do to change this information, and it's just so much more beneficial for the people who are in the vicinity of this, because they just get lifted up real easily. Now, people who are nowhere near this information, we can't try to force it down their throat because they will not get it, and someone will be getting annoyed. The best thing to do is just be you effortlessly. This world is easy. It's simple. It's easy. You get what you want always, because if you desire it, it's yours. There's nothing holding anything away from us other than ourselves. And when we learn to step out of our own way and just let the cork flow instead of unnaturally holding it under the water, whenever we learn to just let ourselves be free and who we are in any given moment in time around anybody, then we just crack the code to the universe, and we get to just joyously live while we're in these bodies, and we don't take it so seriously. We enjoy the joy, we enjoy the illusions and the fear whenever we do fall asleep, because we understand that it is just a contrasting experience that is helping us identify something more that we were unaware of previously, before that contrasting experience took place. So let's finish this last little sentence and then we'll continue talking. But remember today's practice period. In the situation involving blank in which I see myself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. In the situation involving blank in which blank sees himself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. And let's see what's over here. I want to read this one more time. Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. Through your holiness, the power of God is made available, and there is nothing the power of God cannot do. Your holiness then can remove all pain, can end all sorrow, and can solve all problems. It can do so in connection with yourself and with anyone else. It is equal in its power to help anyone, because it is equal in its power to save anyone. So these concepts that me and you are being reminded of are very powerful, because now we understand that me and you play a larger role in this experience than we may think. Me and you are not alone in this world. And before me personally, before I knew any of this, it felt like I would fall asleep, and let me know if you feel what I'm saying, or if you could relate. But I would be in a state of mind where I would compare myself to other people, whether that was in middle school or high school, and I would feel like everyone was in like groups with everybody, and even whenever I was in a group, I would still feel like left out. I would still feel like I wasn't good enough, or I would still feel like I needed to do something more in order to be approved of by people in that group or other groups. And I felt like I was boxed out, and I really wasn't. That was just all an illusion in my mind, but in reality I was just as important and as anyone in those groups, and nobody really seen me in that situation as I did. It was only me thinking those thoughts that made me feel like I was not good enough and separate and boxed off from the world internally in my own mind. But as I started to become more aware of this information, I understood that all of that was an illusion. It wasn't really there, because God did not create separation. God is one. Me and you are united with God. We are one. Me and you are united with each other. And I was united with all those people that I knew and all the people that I didn't know. I was united and one with all of them, and they were one with me. We are all one with each other, because we are all children of God. We are all extensions of the same source. But because me and those individuals forgot that, and we were sleeping in that moment in time, we were not able to identify that, and we were not able to experience that. So we are all walking around trying to be something that we're not, trying to get each other's approval, because we know that we are, deep down we know that we are love, we know that we are powerful. And whenever we are not feeling like we're getting that feedback from someone outside of us, we feel like it's not there. But it's only because we are forgetting the feedback that is given to us 24/7, which is our direct communication with God, which is our emotions. And in the moment, I didn't feel good and I felt like I wasn't good enough in that moment in time. I was just asleep to who I was, and I was making an image in my mind that wasn't really there. That was me projecting this image onto the world, and because I was the light that was shining through the image I made on the projector, and I was seeing the image that I have made in my mind, I was thinking that it was real. And because I was seeing like that, remember, we are not alone in the effects of our seeing. So because I seen myself in that way, people began to see me in that way as well, but only because I seen myself in that way first. Remember that me and you are cause. What is going on in our internal world is cause, and whatever is happening outside is the effect. And in order for anything else to change outside, we must first change the cause, which is what we are doing with this powerful tool of ours. And the way I see myself in any given moment in time is the way other people are going to see me, because they are not alone in the effects of their seeing. I am not alone in the effects of my seeing. And whenever I want people to respond to me differently, that means that I must respond to myself differently, because what I see out there is just reflecting back to me how I really feel about myself. And what you see out there is really reflecting back to you how you feel about yourself. And whenever you know who and what you truly are, you will see nothing but love reflected back to you, because you are the cause and the effect is just the mirror shining back to you what you are already shining on it. So there's really nothing serious going on here. Continue to do what you are doing in this moment, which is staying willing to learn this information with me. Remember, me and you are learning this together, because there is no limit to how much me and you can accomplish, and there is no limit to our understanding of knowledge, because knowledge is infinite. So me and you are going up every single day. We have these conversations. We are becoming more and more and more, and soon enough, before we even know it, we are going to be just so transformed internally that our outside world, which appears different but it's really the same as our internal world, will reflect our internal world, and it will be beautiful. And it already is beautiful, and I'm pretty sure that me and you see the beauty in it by this time in the lessons. We're at lesson 38, which is a small number compared to 365, but I'm surprised how woke that me and you have been the past 38 days. It feels like we shouldn't be this woke this early on in these lessons. But I mean, hey, we are. We're going to continue this and we're going to practice this. And I appreciate you for being open to the repetition that continues to be thrown your way, because the repetition is necessary. The repetition of these words, this terminology, love and light. I know that's said thousands of times, but we cannot hear that enough. And this repetition is necessary. And once enough repetition gets thrown in our mind, and that neural pathway becomes so big that it overpowers our our current one, which may be fear, then the fear will be deactivated, because we're giving so much attention to the love and light that we truly are, that there is nothing feeding that plant over there. If we are watering that plant, so to speak, the fear is going to continue to grow. And our attention is what is watering something. And we can only water one thing at a time with our attention and focus on something. So if we're watering both fear and love at the same time, which we can't do simultaneously, because remember, our attention is either in this moment one of wokeness or one of a sleep. But if we're watering back and forth, fear, wokeness, fear, love, it's going to balance itself out, and we are going to still be in the world of illusion. But because me and you have been so determined to focus all our energy and attention towards watering the truth of who we really are, this plant is growing and growing and growing. And due to the lack of nutrition and nutrients that the fear is getting, it's going to wither away and die. and be glad, because there's nothing that we need to do. We don't need to fight against the fear, the wars of these world, the perceived lacks of this world. We don't need to fight against it. All we got to do is just be a proponent of love, and that will become more and more and more till it is, again, all that is. So let's go ahead and continue today's lesson, and then we will find a good stopping point, so that way we could do the lessons individually and just stay woke and practice this state of being. From time to time, you may want to vary this procedure and add some relevant thoughts of your own. You might like, for example, to include thoughts such as, "There is nothing my holiness cannot do, because the power of God lies in it." Introduce whatever variations appeal to you, but keep the exercises focused on the theme, "There is nothing my holiness cannot do." The purpose of today's exercises is to begin to instill in you a sense that you have dominion over all things because of what you are. One more time, and that can be highlighted. Today's exercises is to begin to instill in you a sense that you have dominion over all things because of what you are. In the frequent, shorter applications, apply the idea in its original form unless a specific problem concerning you or someone else arises or comes to mind. In that event, use the more specific form in applying the idea to it. So let's read the italicized portion one more time. There is nothing my holiness cannot do, because the power of God lies in it. Everything that we read today and for the past few days has just been so eye-opening. This is information that just touches the soul. The way in which that these words are stringed together and the intention behind these words, it just hits different. So I'm grateful that me and you came across this course whenever we did. Let's go ahead and make sure we take the time today individually to reread this lesson and do the applications as stated. And until then, I will catch you tomorrow for lesson 39 of A Course in Miracles.